Are portal leads good? Should I spend X amount of money at realtor.com? Should I spend X amount of money at Zillow? And does it work for me? At a high level, you get this kind of wide variety of responses, and you have the person that is, going to scream at the top of their lungs, no, I saw no ROI, I didn't make any money. Every once in a while, you do get the people that come out and say, you know what, I'm crushing it, but it's about if you have the systems, the operations, the process, the infrastructure in place. My name is John Bowler, and this is the None Size Fits All podcast, where every week I'll be sharing my candid thoughts on what's happening in the real estate industry. Good afternoon. Welcome to the None Size Fits All podcast. My name is John Bowler, co-founder of Grid Consulting. Today, we're going to be talking about Facebook, the different message boards that are out there, and I guess specifically how it pertains to the real estate community. You have hundreds of Facebook groups, private or not private. They all serve a number of different purposes. And there's so many that are available. There's so many different ones that are available. But it's, I guess, more importantly, it's funny to watch the kind of persona or the culture of these different groups play out. I myself have a private group focused less on product, more on industry, trying to create engagement and high-level discussion. And then you have a bunch of them that are out there that may focus on pitching products or that are focused on a coaching group and a community. And then you have others that are doing, focus on growth hacks. So I guess the point of this topic is what are people really trying to get out of these Facebook groups? When you join one of these communities, what is your goal and what are you trying to achieve by being a part of this community that notifies you when people are talking? I'm going to talk today specifically about one topic that I've always found funny because you see it, it never stops showing up online in these different groups. And it's this kind of simple question of, should I advertise here? Should I advertise at this website or should I buy this product? Should I do Facebook? And you have this ongoing discussion where people are talking about, I had success, I hated that service, this one sucked. You have this kind of wide array of opinions on the success of these different products or sources. But let's talk even more in particular about the topic that is the one that everyone freaks out about, the portals. Are portal leads good? Should I spend X amount of money at realtor.com? Should I spend X amount of money at Zillow? And does it work for me? At a high level, you get this kind of wide variety of responses, and you have the person that is, going to scream at the top of their lungs, no, I saw no ROI, I didn't make any money. Every once in a while, you do get the people that come out and say, you know what, I'm crushing it, but it's about if you have the systems, the operations, process, the infrastructure in place. You get people that just seem to be wanting to join one of the arguments and one of the sides. But I don't really get it because, everybody's success in this industry and everyone's success with lead gen is going to be dependent on your ability to convert a lead, your ability to create a process, your ability to create infrastructure. Whether or not you track the data and look at it and say, I spent X and this is what the outcome was, but more importantly, what occurs in between the purchase of the leads and the anticipated goal or the outcome. So one of the rebuttals you get, why would you give money to the portals? They stole my leads or they stole my listings. Why don't you just cold call? Why don't you door knock? Why don't you do something that seems like kind of circa the 2000, going and knocking on doors seems a little bit intrusive. I myself at my home probably wouldn't want you just knocking on my door to try to sell me something. But more importantly, think about the portals. I mean, what they're going to do is they're going to expedite the process of the technology. They're basically going to invest hundreds of millions of dollars in traffic and in audience and brand awareness. They're going to get consumers to come to their site. They're then going to sell leads to you, yes, but the quality of that lead is much more focused and I guess directive with what they're doing. They're there to look for homes. They then end up looking for a person to work with, and then they reach out to somebody that just so happens to be advertising on the portal. Now let's take that the opposite direction and let's talk about cold calling and, buying a list and then just picking up the phone and calling. I myself have cold called a ton in my life and, there's parts of it that are fun, but that's really hard. And it's not somebody that's directive. And it's almost like, having blinders on and there are products out there where you can buy lists that are supposedly more warm or more geo-targeted. But I'm guessing from, just talking to people, I don't think a lot of us like just the random cold call. It seems a little bit strange. So I guess my take on the Facebook groups and this kind of love-hate, I don't know if it should be all about hate. I think that the quality of service that you provide, your process, the CRM that you use, your ability to track data. Do you have an ISA? How are you quantifying the overall performance of it is really dependent on whether or not you're going to love it or you're going to hate it. But I guess the one thing I will say is I just don't get the concept of cold calling when there's a bunch of places out there that are doing all of the front end work that'll make your life easier long term. The one thing that you ultimately control in your life and in your business is the way that you manage your time. Your time is your asset, and leaving voicemails and dialing for dollars seems like a little bit crazy when you have the portals that have already solved for this, or you have the different social media sites that have figured out traffic. A social media site is going to have the traffic figured out, and then they're going to have a bunch of retargeting things that are available to you that allow you to get more, I guess, strategic with the way that you're approaching lead gen. So I think a lot of this is about working smarter, not harder. Yes, you can go out and it's free to cold call, but there are lots of ways to generate inbound leads to yourself and do it so that you're not spending a bunch of time leaving voicemails and cold calling. So I guess the net of all of this is the Facebook groups, take them for what they're worth. And the reality is people have success every day on portals. They have success on different lead sources. Every lead source is going to have a different process in terms of how you can convert it. If the lead quality is not as good, then you likely will want to automate a bunch of the stuff up front. And then when you start running the numbers back, it actually will say that, the ROI was good, bad, or indifferent. But at the end of the day, if you're not doing any of that, if you're not thinking about the process, the workflow, and the infrastructure of these different places you're buying, and you're listening to a Facebook group where somebody's freaking out for whatever reason, it's a lot of noise. So my big takeaway: avoid the noise, avoid the kind of random throw it out there and to the community and say, like, should I do this or should I not? And think about it holistically as, like, at the end of the day, this is a process. Lead gen is a process. Your ability to convert a lead is a process. And your ability to track the data, more importantly, will allow you to answer that question intelligently. So that's all I have today. Love the Facebook groups. I'm in about 100 of them, and they are fantastic. They're more so for humor, and you learn a lot there. But wish you all the best. Have a good weekend and crush it. Thank you again for listening. Every week I'll be releasing fresh content, so tune in. And if it's of value, please share it with your network.